Good morning, friends. This is Sunday, April 3rd, and what a glorious day in spring to be gardening. So, I'm in my upper garden off my patio. This is where I started my plants. This was when we first moved here 4 years ago, almost to this exact time. 4 years ago, we've been here on this property. We have 2¼ acres. It was pretty much raw land with no garage. And that first year or two, we built our garage. But while we were doing that, I always have to garden. So this is where we're at today. I'm seeing so much evidence of spring and bounty and flowers and all that's the joy in gardening. So let me show you. We're having our first yellow bells, which the hummingbirds love. My mesquite tree is getting leaves. It was almost bare, so gives us shade, and where one of my hummingbird feeders is. I have 7, or is it 8 on the property now. I have my palm out here doing well with new babies on it. This pot was a different plant that died, and this tomato plant, the strawberry plant, just popped out of nowhere. It must have had a little bit in the dirt, so it started propagating. Got another yellow bell there. This citrus tree was here when we got here. It has struggled, and I probably am going to take it out, as much as I hate to, but it's just not healthy. There's one bloom, so there is evidence of life on it, but not the kind of bounty that I'd like to see. My artichokes have made it through the winter and have started growing. They were all dormant, and it's got about 4 or 5 plants in there. But what's fun is I have, from seed, started 3 more. These are purple artichokes, and I've got bird netting over everything so they don't come and visit my fresh, pretty green leaves, because they are voracious. My first hibiscus is trying to open, and I have my first blooms on my John F. Kennedy rose bush, and these are just in a pot. So these have been here I put these in the first year, and they are still happy and blooming. Got more beds coming up. This is a beautiful pink rose, and they are just in buds, so we'll have blooms, lots of blooms very soon. The ocotillo is a favorite hangout place for the hummingbirds, and we're getting fresh new leaves on here, and this is where my hummingbirds come and hang out. We have their water bath for the birds. Needs cleaning, but they come in, that gets filled up every day. This is my grapefruit tree with lots of blooms on it. It's already setting little fruit, so I'm going to have grapefruit. There were so many on here. I'm hoping that this poor little tree can handle all the weight of those blooms. I may need to help prop it up. Oh, they smell so fragrant. Smells so good. This one is, I think it's a mandarin. Oh, here we go. Oh no, this is my bear's lime. I just planted this one last year. So there was some blooms on here, and those were right here. So I'm getting my first little lime. It's going to be there. We had blooms a couple weeks ago. This is the tangelo. I see a lot of new leaves. This one was kind of hit by the grasshoppers, so he is coming back. I probably need to refresh the the white on the trunks. And here's my lime or lemon tree. This is Lisbon lemon, and these are really juicy, nice lemons. These are the last couple, and I really need to take these in and let the new blooms, which there are blooms, and they are turning into new lemons. So over in my seedling area, I have more artichokes. I have some canary. These are my melons going. Sugar baby watermelon. It doesn't look very happy. But there's a Jubilee watermelon. Looks pretty happy. These are about ready to go out into the garden as soon as I get my lower garden finished up. I've got my second batch of tomatoes. I already planted 25 plants or thereabouts, and this one's already starting to bloom. That is a triple crop tomato. Those are supposed to be very plentiful. There is a Cherokee purple. These other ones were a second batch. I've got mortgage lifter. Try to get more large tomatoes and canning tomatoes, paste tomatoes this year. So last year seems everything that made it was cherry tomatoes. So I didn't plant. I did a few, but not much, because they're so prolific. So my big discovery was my strawberries. I have strawberries. I have these are in my barrels. These have been here, and there are so many underneath the foliage down here that are, oh my goodness, what a huge cluster there. There's some here, little baby one, but these are supposed to be very large. They probably need some food to get them really to a good size. But I have bird netting over these to protect them, because as soon as the birds see red, they land and they start pecking. So I've got, oh, here's a nice ripe one. Ooh, this one's coming to mama. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna get the taste test. Oh, homegrown, vine ripened. How do you beat that? Oh my goodness, this is one of my cherry tomatoes that was here last year, and it grew all up and over my support here, but it's already got tomatoes. I saw them the other day. They're getting, I mean, these are good size for cherry tomatoes. They're doing good. Oh, pretty sweet. Nice. Here are my fabulous raspberries that I got last spring, and I've had them. This is the red raspberry, the heritage variety. We already have some budding, and all of this was old or last year's wood, and oh, I wanted so bad to trim it off, but I read that the old wood is where it will have new sprouts, and sure enough, all of this was just so close to me trimming it off. The only thing I've done is trim off dead leaves, and it's this bright limey green. Now, I had a tomato plant in here, and it was cherry tomatoes. Do you see all the volunteers? Oh my goodness. So do I pot them all up? Here's my other red heritage. So I had, these were the twins. They were in the upper garden here. And look at the size of this up here. And that's getting little babies on it too. And there's more strawberries over here. I kind of went a little crazy ordering strawberries. Getting them bare root was quite something. So here's my berry plants. These few right here have not been transplanted, but look at how happy they are. I'd like to get them into bigger pots, more like this size, and that's what these are sitting here waiting for. This one's been potted into a larger one. This is the boysenberry. It does not have flowers. That comes from my rose bush up here. This rose bush is so prolific. It's a climbing rose bush that was here when we moved in, and it was a monster. And I've trimmed back everything that blocks the sun in my garden, and it grows over the other side. So all of my berry plants are just, this is my elderberry. Thank you, Nikki, for ordering that from California for me. And here's some more boysenberries. Look at all the new green growth. Normally they looked like this. This is happy new green growth. And this is my marionberry. Look at the flowers. And look at how tall it's grown. I gave it a trellis because this one had the longest branches of anything. So I just keep taking off the dead leaves. And this is the Primark blackberry. Here's another marionberry with flowers. It looks like this one's turning into a fruit. I'm gonna have some fruit. But the exciting thing is over here, I have berries. And these are the Primark blackberry, just like that other plant. So I usually have these in twos. Gosh darn, this doesn't have the label on it. We'll find out when they get big. But my roses are blooming in here. Look at these fabulous babies. These I planted that first year, and I just let them be in here and get the sun, and then I plant down below, which this garden is going to be moving out. This is also a new plant. This is my kiwi, and this is an Isaiah or Isai, 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 I believe. So I ordered this and got this in. It just seems small. I had one last year that I thought I killed. Oh, here's some more strawberry transplant. I transplanted them into these trays, and they've got blooms. I had the raspberries, the heritage raspberries, red heritage. I had them in barrels right here, and this seems to be what has rooted itself from those original plants. So I'm going to be digging up more berries and getting them ready. I have strawberries in here. I have a pepper plant with, this is my Anaheim chilies, so I can stuff them. And that one's doing well. These are two elderberry bushes. Not elderberry, mulberry. I have a mulberry tree that I planted. I bought two mulberry bushes to go along the side fence where the chicken coop, the turkey coop, the turkey run is going to be. And this is sweet potatoes I planted last fall. The other ones all froze and lost their leaves. This, being in a protected area, did not. So I'm looking forward to a sweet potato harvest out of here. These are like those spoon tomatoes, and these are these really need a lot. But here's another volunteer. Oh, I have a tomato. So this is also going to be, so we have a few tomatoes up here, but most of the tomatoes have gone down. This one just volunteered. Like I said, it just grew up just like these. And this is my wild grape that I got from Nikki in California. And this is, it was a stick a week ago. And look at the little bunches of grapes. This is going to go down beside my garden and grow up on the trellis and be kind of a shade. Now here's the other, this is the kiwi that I thought was dead. It was a stick. It did not look alive. I put it in here, gave it a little mulch, gave it some extra water, and it has come back just within the last 2 weeks. Ooh, these are my blueberries. Now these are not big, but by golly, it's really trying hard. It needs to get into another area, probably into a bigger pot. But these two are my sunshine blueberries. So they are set for being in warmer weather. They will be prolific. So this is my flowers. Gorgeous Arizona sunset blooms. And these are gorgeous purple blooms. This plant was planted up there, fell over with the wind. There's the base. And this is how nature works. It fell over and it climbed out and rose up. So it looks like it's covering this hillside. So I didn't feel like propping it up. It was doing fine. I have my rose bushes that are supposed to be climbing. These have been in here for 2 years. And my traveling rosemary is just enormous. We have things going here. Oh my goodness, my tangelo here. I thought it was dead. I had to cut all of this back. And look at all this growth. But is it... I guess it's okay. Not sure where the graft is. But we have roses all along here doing well. Got our bushes that the hummingbirds love. And our Palo Verde is getting its flowers and it's getting bright green. You can hear the hummingbirds coming through here right now. Oh, here's one. It's feeding off this plant here. And I love their little chirp. This is their favorite hangout, and I have 2 hummingbird feeders in here. Of course, they love the natural nectar, so I try and give them all the natural blooms that I can. Okay. So I have 7 roses. These are supposed to be climbing. Every other one is a climbing and then an upright was the plan, but they never seem to get past here, this short little upright, because the bunnies reach over and eat the tops off if they can. So I want to get them to climb on the split rail fence. And this is my mesquite in the front, who's in blooms. Yellow bells are just starting out here. And these, I've got them trimmed up to be more of a tree than a bush, so I can see. These are the blooms that the hummingbirds, I can't remember what this is, but it's a drought tolerant plant. And I added some rosemary trimmings down here and they took off, so that's wonderful. So this is the little bird sanctuary under the trees in the front yard, shading the house and giving us this lovely view every morning out my front. As I sit on the couch, this is my view. So I do have an announcement. This last week, I made a monumental decision because I'm thinking of doing so many more things in my garden. This last week, I gave my notice to quit work. I was only working 2 days, which turned into 2.5, which was almost 3 days. And I gave notice to not go back to school next year. So I'm going to make it through the next few weeks and finish out school. And starting this summer, I can work on my garden and my farm, because I will be a farm as soon as I get some animals. And that will be, the first ones will be turkeys and maybe a few little chicks, just to have some fresh eggs. So I'm excited. It was an emotional decision. I can't say that I'm not sad, because I kind of am, but I'm also kind of very excited. It's a big step for me. And hey, I have tried to retire twice before. This is the third time. This needs to be the final time. Even my kids said, "Are you sure?" You've said this a few more times, but I signed the actual paperwork to quit. And they already have somebody lined up to take my place. So I'm happy. Somebody else will be getting that job, and I don't have to. This is what I want to do. This is my passion, and this is where I'm at. And I just want to share with you all to follow your dreams, take care of yourself, and look around and see all your blessings. So with that, I want to bless you this wonderful Sunday. Beautiful 80-degree weather, high clouds, wonderful for gardening. And while Al is down putting in the rest of the pipes for the sprinklers on the other side of my garden, which will be completed this week, I'm going to go down and help him. I just had to take you around and show you all this bounty that's starting to come forth. It's so exciting. All right, with that, I love you. See you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Take care.